Hello, this is Professor Pramod Parajuli again, speaking on behalf of a fascinating process of social initiative. I would even say socio-cultural natural initiative under the umbrella. Right now, we are naming it as Nepali Himalaya Abundance Dream to Design. In this segment, I want to just bring update to you in English about these different sites, what I am calling so far the living learning laboratories hubs, where a certain kind of regenerative design, certain kind of a regenerative life system, regenerative livelihoods, regenerative learning ecosystems, and leadership, emerging leadership patterns could be demonstrated as lived examples. And through interaction over several years with different groups in Nepal and across the Himalayas, now we have at least 12 to 15 different sites of those, which I am certain, I am confident, that will increase to dozens, so that all aspects of what the Nepali Himalayan abundant landscapes can offer as a global classroom for people to come, observe, live, experience, contribute what you know, learn what you need to learn. So these are, as they were supposed to be, representing the different vertical and the horizontal biocultural diversity of our ecosystems. They are emerging in different spots, but we are now focusing more on two water systems, two river systems. One is the Kali Gandaki waterways that emerges from the Tibetan Himalayas in in Damodar Kunda, then passes through, collects water through the Muktinath range, the Annapurna Dhaulagiri range, then goes through the Mahabharat range. Then all of a sudden, the river, the water body that was coming from north to the south, in the middle of Nepal, it turns to east and the north. So it is called Uttar Bahini. Fascinating, this Kaligandaki, and I was born near that. After the Uttar Bahini, there are Tanahu, Sangja, Palpa districts between two big mountain range. I was born in one of those villages, Kahun Sibapur, and that river then goes up to Debagat, where the river meets the Trishuli, coming from the Kathmandu, west of Kathmandu, more the Rasua Nuwakot range, Langtang range, and then goes to the to India through Chittagong. Sure. So one of the first spots that we have identified where a regenerative work is also being done is right at the border with India, where the Narayani River, that Kali Gandaki becomes Narayani after meeting the Trishuli system, and then goes to India. So there, the first such a living learning laboratory system, where in Nepali we call it the Jivan Sala, how the life is working between nature, culture, economy, soil, water, moisture, animals, is connected with Shikai Sala. And one of the great innovation that has been practiced there, is called bamboo architecture. Building houses with bamboos, furniture with bamboos, and not only that, harvesting the flood water through the bamboo grove and bringing that fertile soil, fertile water to the gardens and the fields, rice fields, corn fields, vegetable grove. So that is where it is called Madi, M-A-D-I in Chitwan, the farthest south But interestingly, although it is in the plains, but this ecosystem has a lot of mountain ranges, lot of forest, lot of wild animals, including the royal the Chitwan National Park, lot of fishing economy, river economy, and almost all people from all parts of Nepal are settled there. So that will be where we will be offering the first celebratory event in December 12 to 22, 2005, this year, about 5 months from today, where we will do the first experiment of how these living learning laboratories hub like the Madi and the Bamboo Abari complex will offer this global classroom setup. What kind of workshop will there be? The idea is each participant will be invited, encouraged to bring what they know, to teach, to share, to demonstrate, to document, and it will be a plurimedia event, and learn what they need to learn. Let's say someone knows mushroom farming, but does not know beekeeping, right? Bee. So they will teach mushroom farming and they will learn beekeeping, or they might learn how to uh, master plan a river system from the source to where it goes to Bay of Bengal, for example. It could be any. It could be literacies about food, culinary. They will be testing food from different parts of Nepal, brought there, cooked by the local cultural group that they know how to harvest that bamboo or how to harvest that particular trout, Himalayan trout, or a mushroom, or what we call a fiddlehead. And there are thousands of varieties of fruit trees, wild and cultivated. How do you harvest that? When do you eat it? Why? What is its relationship with your nourishment, with your keeping your health alive, like that? So, so the second one of such a um living learning laboratory hub could be in Chitwan, where a group of maybe 100 plus peasants under the leadership of popularly known as Organic Uncle Chandra Prasad Adhikari, they have a co-op of organic food production by a cooperative 100 plus. I think it might have been 250 by now. We want to learn from that process of from soil to supper to the market. You see, so how they have done it. And there is similar group in Tanahu district, which is a little further north, by of a journalist, retired or a recovering journalist, let's say, Mr. Narayan Wagle, a very charismatic, very popular figure in a Nepali youth circle. He has now created a model of what we could call a Nepali version of a homestead, right? Homestead is in Nepali context, it could be like 5 acre maximum because that's the landholding size. He is demonstrating how to create that fertile mall by the use of the vernacular cows, cattle of the mountain system, Himalayan mountain system. And he could be one of that. The other one, right around this area, is in Rajahar, where a naturopathic and Ayurvedic system is coming into fruition, where another hub about the health, the medicine, the medicinal plants, the healing from within modalities, the Tibetan system, the Ayurvedic system, and the naturopathic system that could demonstrate, that could be one of the hubs. The other one we have been told and invited to incorporate is the Uttar Bahini system that I call, where the Kali Gandaki comes from Damodar Kunda to middle of Nepal in the Palpa district, Ramli, and then it moves north and east. So Uttar Bahini there, very enlightened scholar of Vedic system, um, has established something called a Kali Gandaki science and some kind of a center for a long time, where he's already demonstrating um, the role of the cows, the fertile soil, food, health, and that could be another site for hosting this event, as well as a long term evolution of a living learning laboratories for the Nepali Himalayan system. In the same way, we have been approached by a community in Mustang, which is upper Himalayas behind the Annapurna Dhaulagiri range, that we could host one of the events and then gradually develop into that living learning laboratories representing the more higher Himalayan kind of a Tibetan plateau range beyond the Himalayas, the other side of the Himalayas, where the rainfall is not as much as in the southern side of it, right? So that is the Mustang, and that could represent like a Mustang, Manang, Dolpa, that kind of inner Himalayas, the beginning of the silk route that was connected to Mongolia and China and to Europe, all that. So similarly, uh, while doing a lot of deeper involvement and engagement in the Kali Gandaki system, waterways, we are also simultaneously working with Karnali system, which originates in the Mount Kailas, that is in Tibet at this time geographically, but culturally that is a shared heritage site for all Asians and all over the world. So Kailas, Mount Kailas and Mansarovar, and Karnali runs through that to Nepal, and we have groups in this process. In Surkhet, there is a Janajoti high school in Gaddichor, where one of these year, it could be second year or third year, depending upon how all the other factors work, we could have one event and evolve that Janajoti system where the students and the teachers, the whole community has found a model of learning while earning. That way, they are becoming entrepreneur by 8th grade. And then by the time they graduate from high school, they are able to pursue a regenerative, ecologically sound enterprise. And through this involving in this design process, all this youth will be gathering much more skill in how to create this peaceful prosperity for people and planet through this regenerative pedagogical processes. So that is the, and in that Karnali system, we have other group of people working in the northernmost part, at the corner where the Himalayas meet India, Tibet, and Nepal. It is called the Limi Valley, from where there is a spot there, from where within 5 kilometer or mile we can see both Mount Kailas and Mansarovar, Lake Mansarovar. So one of the most sacred sites. So in Limi Valley, we want a engagement process and a festival and celebratory event where not only the Nepalese aspect of that kind of the high Himalayan complex with yaks grazing and snow melting and this medicinal plant complex and the pilgrimage, and where the Ladakh, all the way from Ladakh, the Indian Himalayas, maybe from Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Chinese Himalayan side, the Tibetan side, all will converge and illuminate the the richness of that high Tibetan plateau. Some of it is too dry, I hear, in the Tibetan side, but it is more mild in the Nepali side. And the idea was then the yak was grazing on both sides depending upon the season. You see, where the grass was too dry, too dust, but then somehow that has been disrupted. Maybe across the Himalayan grazing system could be reintroduced through this beautiful collaborative process. So far, we have about two in the Karnali system, and I am confident there will be more proposals coming from different valleys like Jumla, Dailek, even Darchula, to say, look, we also want to be part of this. So several places and events in the Karnali. What I said? Several. Already we have identified about 6, 7 in the Kali Gandaki system, and I'm confident there will be more. And then we are finding connection with the Bhutanese. So one event could be in Bhutan. One event we are also building connections in China, mostly the Yunnan, Sichuan, Tibet area, which are just next to Nepal and the Indian Himalayas, where that could be one or two uh, upset learning hubs. This is how it's just an emergent process. Nothing is set in stone, but an invitation through the word of mouth, through documentation, like talks like this that I am offering today. We are hoping to create a diversity of locations for demonstrating, establishing these living learning laboratories in Nepali. Sikai Sala, Jiban Sala, Vitra Sikai Sala. The learning, unlearning, and relearning system within the regenerative life system ecosystem throughout across the Himalayas. And we are just a seed idea. We don't have to supervise and be on top of everything. It's an invitation. A community group could do it themselves. When needed, they could come to participate in one of these annual events. That one of them is happening in Mahadisi zone this year, December 12 and 22. Then we will continue every year in some location, emphasizing on the specific particular contribution that place could do. Like some of them could be in culinary, could some of them could be in health, some of them could be in indigenous design of housing, furniture, right? Some of them could be on soil quality, some of them could be on high Himalayan pilgrimage system, on and on. So thank you so much. It is just a update on what we are doing, and I will, and my other members in the team will continue to offer updates. Thank you so much.